Hello, hello, everyone. Give me just a moment. All right, I apologize. I am doing a quick posting. So give me just a second. How is everybody? I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. Perfect. Choose that. Share. Mhm, mhm. Oops. I apologize. I'm just trying to get this all sent off real quick. Twitch.tv slash business journeys consult. Facebook.com slash business journeys. All right. Cool. All right. I have it sharing in all the places. I just want to make sure that we are good. So I can link it up over on the phone. Perfect. All right. How is everyone? Again, I hope everybody's had a wonderful Sunday so far. Um, I figured get started a couple minutes early. This way we were right on time this week. Um, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to be covering week 7, where we talk about the support gap and how so many people need help, but they don't really get it. Um, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Rachel, and we are going to deep dive today the support gap paradox. All been there, help is out there, but it's somewhere. Many of us don't know how to get to those resources. And even when we do know how to get to those resources, we struggle to actually obtain those resources that we are seeking. I apologize. I have to get comfortable in my chair. Um, it's been a very overwhelming week. Um, and so my sensory issues are bothering me a little bit more than normal. So you're going to see me stimming more than normal. This is common as an autistic adult and business owner. So please bear with me. If any of my stims bother you, I apologize. This is just what helps get me through. So I want you guys to close your eyes for a minute. I really want you to picture this. And don't picture this as a stock photo. This is meant to be a documentary of your life for probably the last 6 months, if not more. You know that guy stranded on an island? Yeah, that's you. That massive ship that many of us are hoping will pass, it's labeled support. That's the banks, government grants, and the resources that are out there that are supposed to save us. Now, keep this going in your mind, and the more vivid and clear it is, the better idea you're going to have. Notice how that ship isn't stopping. They're probably waving back, thinking that you're just being friendly. Hi. So, welcome to week 7. We're going to talk about the support gap paradox, and it's the cruelest joke in the industry. The people who need help the most, the startups, the micro businesses, the folks grinding it out right here in McKees Rocks, are the ones who can't even get a call back. I'm here to change that dynamic. I'm Cosmic Lotus Consulting, and I'm your flare guy. I am an online business manager, or OBM for short. Now, in corporate speak, that tells you that I manage operations, but in our reality, it means that I'm the chief chaos coordinator. I'm the reason that you stop screaming into the void and actually start running a company. I specialize in the underdogs. I work with economically disadvantaged businesses, startups, and micro businesses under 5 years old. And the risky ones that the big banks ignore. And here's a little bit of what that actually looks like. You need business photography so your website doesn't look like a hostage video. I have a photographer that actually does that. You need bookkeeping so the IRS doesn't become your roommate. I help with that. You need administrative support to help dig you out from those 5,000 unread emails. I do that too. And I offer these services at an affordable rate because I know that in the Pittsburgh area and not just McKees Rocks, every dollar has to fight for its life. So my job here is to bridge that gap, and I help build the systems and handle the grunt work so that you can stop being the guy that's stranded on the island. And finally, build your own boat. We're also going to talk about other entities that help do the same thing, such as SCORE and the SBDC. Or if you're here in the Pittsburgh area, Panther LabWorks is another amazing option. So, who's ready to talk about why that ship keeps sailing past you and how we're going to force it to turn around? Oh, I apologize. My nose has just been so scratchy with the lovely weather. All right, so we're going to dive into our first slide. And as we know, I like to start with what the problem actually is. And then we're going to go into a little bit of action steps. And I like to deep dive each action step to give you a more full idea. So let's dive in. So, welcome to Lost in the Wilderness. Sounds nice, right? Like a relaxing weekend trip. Now, this one is where dreams go to die, and not because of a bad product, but because our systems are designed by people who've never actually run a business. A significant number of small businesses fail. A significant number of small business failures can be attributed to a lack of help from the local community and government. So let me translate that for professionals in the room. The failure rate is not your fault. It's the system's fault for giving you a participation trophy when you desperately needed capital. And here's the educational punchline. 69% of small businesses in underserved markets fail due to non-financial issues. Things like poor internal processes, regulatory confusion, and chaotic execution. If you're running a business in an economically depressed area, you don't lack motivation. You lack the basic cheat codes because there's no mentors. No mentors means no network access and technical assistance, and that looks suspiciously like a 400-page PDF titled How Not to Go Bankrupt. We're handing them a motivational poster when they need a roadmap and a shovel. And this is where online business managers step in to help clean up the mess. While the government is busy generating PDFs, I'm the one that takes that mountain of confusing advice, that technical assistance, those regulatory updates, and the networking follow-ups, and turns it into a streamlined, managed process. Businesses that standardize their core processes are 3 times more likely to scale. I help build the system so you can stop being the CEO, the COO, the CMO, and the chief janitor. And this brings us to the next and yet most professionally, utterly frustrating core of the problem. The support gap paradox, it means that people who need support the most are the ones that are least likely to get it because the existing systems weren't built with the small guy in mind. We have support everywhere. It's just almost entirely useless until somebody else helps organize it, integrate it, and make sure that you can actually execute it while simultaneously running your business. You need to fix the map and not just tell people to try harder. So some of these, again, are things like hiring an online business manager, hiring a virtual assistant, hiring an administrative assistant. For more free mentorship, you can always partner with SCORE or your local SBDC, which would be a small business development center. Um, There is also things like the Panther Lab work, and if you call the colleges, um, they do often offer, like, other entrepreneurial services. You just have to call and ask. Okay. So that brings us to our in-depth action steps. So the in-depth action steps that we are going to cover is all listed here. So we're going to start off with talking about the fact that we've established this problem. The system is broken. The support is useless. And you're operating in the wilderness. Good. Being mad is motivating. And now let's stop complaining and start executing. This is your three-step plan to help build your own safety net. First up, we're going to talk about finding a mentor or an advisor. This is not a request. This is a mandatory cost saving measure. A mentor has already paid the idiot tax for you. They've made all the expensive mistakes. Why pay for failure when you can steal your hard earned wisdom? Data shows that 70% of mentored businesses survive past the 5 year mark. If you are aggressively seeking one out, you're betting against those odds. And frankly, I don't like your odds. If you're not aggressively seeking one out, guys, I'm super thirsty for some reason today, and so you will probably see me drinking a lot. Second, you want to attend networking events. And I don't mean stand in the corner checking your email while clutching a lukewarm sparkling water. I mean ditch the spammy card collect and focus on genuine relationship building. This is where the money is. 85% of job and contract opportunities are filled through personal networks. If you stay home, you are willingly closing the door on 85% of your potential revenue. Go find your tribe and start building reciprocity. Third and lastly, look for industry specific support. Stop treating your highly specialized business like a generic lemonade stand. General advice makes you average. Targeted advice, though, makes you lethal. You're a manufacturer, then you need the MEP. If you're in biotech, you need specific accelerators. This level of specialization bypasses the garbage and delivers high return on investment solutions. And much of it is free or subsidized if you just know where to look. In short, stop waiting for the system to change. Go find the smart people and connect with the useful people. And target the specific resources that actually matter to your industry. Time to build your own advantage. Now, from here on out, it's going to be a little fact heavy. Um, so I apologize. Um, but this week, I really wanted to drive home and highlight how important systems such as SCORE and the SBDC really truly are for everybody to get the most use out of what we're going to be talking about. And for those of you who don't know, I actually do work with Panther Lab Work. Um, I was recognized in October um, in their newsletter. Um, as one of their, like, businesses to watch kind of a deal, their success stories, um, and so I'm really, really proud. So, we are here to talk about what we like to call the reality rent a break. Why? Because frankly, yours is tired and you don't have to have all the answers. In fact, thinking you do is usually the first step towards bankruptcy. So we want to look at the math. 70% of mentored businesses survive past the 5-year mark. That's double the survival rate of the lone wolves out. Do you really want to bet your livelihood on a coin flip? Here is your new strategy in 3 steps. Stop guessing. Your gut feeling is not a business strategy. It's probably just the burrito you had for lunch. Find a mentor. Go to SCORE, go to SBDC. SCORE will also give you referrals to things like bookkeepers and virtual assistants, administrative assistants, accountants, CPAs, that type of stuff. Um, and so really, let's find us that mentor. Let's get us that help. Or you can hire an online business manager such as myself. I do a lot of what SCORE would kind of be referring you out to, such as bookkeeping and assistance with payroll and digging through those emails, booking travel, that type of stuff. Um, so definitely, and I will always tell you that you really, really should partner with your local SBDC because I'm just one person. The more that you can build an advisory team around you, the better decision making you will have, the better information that you will have, because nobody's knowledge is going to cover everything. Even the best experts have gaps in their knowledge. And it is silly to sit here and tell you that you only need one team. Get as much support as you can, especially the free stuff. Steal the wisdom. Why go through the pain of failing when you can just ask somebody who already did? It's cheaper, it's faster, and it's way less embarrassing. Again, this is where online business managers, virtual assistants, um, business gurus, the SBDC, um, can really help you. Same thing with establishing your business in like the local chamber of commerce, or maybe there is a women's business group, or maybe there's a business group for arts. I'm just throwing various different subtypes of business out there so that we kind of get an idea. But whatever industry you're in, there's most likely some sort of a business group for it. Um, but I always recommend starting with your local chamber of commerce. Um, that is always, always, always going to be your best bet because they will also be able to connect you to other networking events. Um, you can also use systems such as Grow with Google, where they are virtual webinars. The SBDC also offers them. So make sure that you're signed up on your local SBDC website. These are great ways to learn from other people's past mistakes, and to learn how to do things the right way. So next, we're going to talk about finding your Yoda. We're establishing local mentorship programs. Um, Use them. Don't be a hero. Heroes usually die in the first act. Be the smart one that makes it to the sequel. So what I mean by that is physically, I am sitting down and writing out various different pain points, and I plan to present those at, like, the local library for little job trainings and tidbits and things like that to help businesses progress. Um, and so I'm really looking forward to working with everybody on because that's going to be an additional way for you to grow your knowledge base absolutely free. Um, and they will come with resources and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm really excited to be getting into that as well. Um, it's probably still at least 6 months away, but it's definitely in the works. Right. So we're going to talk about networking or not working. Um, so let's put our phones down. Seriously. Stop pretending that you have an urgent email from your job. Welcome to network or not work. It's a verb, not a cocktail. This is where we separate the business owners from the hobbyists. If you view networking as a painful obligation that you have to suffer through once a quarter, you're already losing. 85% of job and contract opportunities are filled through network. Think about that. That means that if you aren't showing up, you're willingly missing out on nearly all the serious action. You're closing the door on your own revenue. Now, for the hard truth, your friends list isn't a network. We are done with the spammy card collecting. Your goal isn't to accumulate contacts. Your goal is to build genuine relationships with people who have already messed up in ways that you haven't yet. Why pay for that mistake when you can just ask them about it over a coffee? And we're now going to talk about the real game changer, the economic equalizer. For small businesses, particularly those operating in economically disadvantaged areas, networking is your cheapest and most impactful resource. Often it costs $0 to go to and talk to someone. You bypass those institutional barriers and gain direct access to investors, major contracts, and specialized knowledge in what you can't buy with a small loan. Because I'm not a total and complete monster, here are some low-cost hacks, aka free stuff, that you don't need a fancy membership for. Go to the local chamber events. Many of them have new members and first-time member events where you can kind of go check it out. Some of them do have limits on how many events that you can go to before they require you um, to be a member, but honestly, if you get even one client out of that, you should be able to pay for your membership. Um, hit up the SBA, the Small Business Association's workshops. Also, check out the SBDC, your Small Business Development Center's workshops. All of those are usually free. Also, look for those government-run the buyer sessions. These are going to be your most valuable assets, your time and your good pair of shoes, not a ridiculous annual membership fee. Now, go earn that 85%. All right, so we're going to talk about niching. This is the final slide, and honestly, it's the most important one. We call this niche please. Look, stop Googling general business advice. and start asking Google how to fix your specific manufacturing supply chain. Is also like asking a dentist to perform open heart surgery. They're both doctors, sure, but you're going to die on that table. Wait, sorry, let me reread. Asking Google how to fix your specific manufacturing supply chain is like asking a dentist to perform open heart surgery. There we go. I don't know why that line confused me. I apologize. They're both doctors, sure, but you're going to die on that table. Here is the reality of it. General advice makes you average. And in this economy, average is just a slow way to go broke. Companies that use industry specific support see a 20% higher return on investment. Why? Because you aren't wasting time translating generic advice into your reality. You need to be competitive. You need to be competitive cheating. While your competitors are reading generic entrepreneurial blogs, you need to be tapping into the manufacturing extension partnership or your specific trades association. You need those cheat codes for your specific game level. For my clients in economically disadvantaged areas, this is the equalizer. These specific technical centers will give you the high level expertise in regulatory compliance, along with lean manufacturing that the big guys pay millions for. And guess what? These are often subsidized by the government. They've already been paid for with your tax dollars, so you might as well get your money's worth. All right, now I know what you're thinking. This sounds great. But I don't have time to scour the internet for the Appalachian Widget Makers Association, or to navigate a website that was designed in 1988. And that's exactly why I exist. I'm Cosmic Lotus Consulting, and as your online business manager, I don't just do your I take your photos, though I do those and take your photos, although we do those beautifully. I am the one who hunts down these niche resources for you. I find the grants, trade the association, I find the trade associations, and I handle the administrative nightmare of signing you up. I clear the path so that you can actually walk. So, you're a startup, a micro business, or just tired of doing it alone in the Pittsburgh area, let me drive the boat for a bit. You can find me everywhere that you possibly spend too much time scrolling. That would be Twitch, LinkedIn, Alignable, Facebook, Instagram, and more. All at Cosmic Lotus Consult. And that's it for the night. Let's get surgical. Let's get specific. Let's get you paid. Thank you so much. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I'm just going to check and make sure that there is no questions. And as long as we don't have any questions, then we are good. All right. Doesn't look like we had any questions. All right. I will see you guys next week for week 8. Thank you very much.